conclusions.
And that's the thing. People are afraid of change. They're afraid.
But we're not changing anything.
Well, but that's the whole thing. I mean, just our existence is changing something.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I guess that's true. Our existence does change things. Because if we band together, then we're stronger. And when things happen like what happened to Nikki Benz, we could stand together and not make that happen again.
Why don't we talk a little bit more about that? Because my audience is not porn specific. So, I read some of the notes about that on XBiz. I've been so incredibly busy with IEAU stuff, with Bella XXX stuff, with trying to get something together for this radio show on the regular, because the last couple of weeks through my vacation I was pretty much on by myself. I had my kid on, okay? We talked about video games, which is fine. It was fun, and I still have to edit it and put that up because, long story, but it needed to be fixed in post-production. So it hasn't been reposted. But, I really want to kind of get back on the horse. New Year's is over, everybody. Back to work. I swear, right after Thanksgiving, all of my guests dried up. Everyone's like, yeah, I'll be on, and then, everybody would disappear. So, you what?
So I've already pissed everybody off, and we just started 2017, so I had a good start. Woohoo!
Well, it's carryover from last year. No, don't worry. We'll find a whole new group of people this year for you to piss off, I'm sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I always got my eyes peeled. No, but but the reality of it is, we're not trying to pull anything from anybody. We're not evil. We are not against.
We have no hidden agendas.
We are not against other organizations. We are just for performers, and memberships, do not have to be. They don't have to be adversarial. They just don't. We all have our goals, and right now, like I said, ours is to build talent, not to take anybody down. So let's see. We have someone else in the line here. Although I don't have caller ID. Oh, I have a 213 number. I don't even know how to do this. Please end the other call if you want to start this one. Oh, I can only have one call.
Do you want to take that one?
No, it's okay. If anybody would like to join the call, they can't do it by phone. I only have one phone line. But you can go to Google Hangouts.
Or they can call back and I can call on your line.
No, because I don't have it plugged into the soundboard.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the technical difficulties last week were because my son wanted to use his Bluetooth headset, and I had never done that configuration before, and he was adamant about it, teenagers, and it's like, okay, I'll give you your own mic. No, I want my headset. Fine, whatever. It was his first show. Who can blame him? But if you want to get a hold of me or the show, you can go to Google Hangouts, and my username on there is, for the show, is Bella Bonobo at gmail.com. It's a leftover from my time at Susan Block. It has the good phone number on it. So, yeah, I had to keep that regardless of, I don't even know what's going on with them right now. That's a whole other...
Dr. Susan Block?
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
I have memorabilia. It's from the 1990s. I'm talking probably 1989 of me on the Dr. Susan Block show.
Do you really? You should send that over. Or send that to her. She'd probably love to have it. But,
yeah. One of her very first, original shows, I think.
Yeah, my issue with Susan, look, first of all, she thinks I'm a Trump supporter, like I said at the top of the hour, and fuck no. I don't support, well, all right, fine. But I don't support or not support a person. I support or don't support policies because I'm a libertarian and we're the party of reason. So, if I looked at the man and his totalitarian attitude, yeah, I don't see a lot of things coming down the pike, but I'm not ready to judge him until it's time for him to actually act.
Yeah.
There's no sense in getting riled up.
I just figured he's different. It was better than the alternative.
Yeah. and well, that's also arguable, but why waste your energy on the man when even his supporters are not going to like all of his policies? That's just a matter of politics. That's just the nature of the beast. Yeah. So let's wait it out and let's fight the policies, not the man, okay? Because you fight the man, something happens to him, and you get President Pence.
Yeah, so fight the policies.
Fight the policies. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point.
It's what you do when you're a minority. You know, it's the same thing that the Democrats are doing in Congress because they've been a minority for so long. The example that I want to use comes from a documentary, but it's really obscure. So I'm just going to go straight to the commercial application of this documentary, Independence Day. The only way that you beat a vastly inferior army is through coordination, strategy, and guerrilla tactics. And you know what? That's what we resort to on policy. Because anything else is a waste, you know?
Yeah.
You can't defeat Trump. He's already won. So defeat his policies. And you know what? It keeps us busy for the next 4 years, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think, you know, maybe a lot of us were getting kind of complacent about what's important. You know, when the far left has this epiphany that everything is going so well that we can bring back the culture war and people are like threatening each other's lives over the internet over terminology. We've done something wrong. We've become a little bit too permissive as a society, I think. You know?
Yeah.
You know, when there's, you know, and I'm a trans person, but when there's like 65 different gender, I'm sorry, but that's
65
not
65 different genders.
Yeah, that's not what I started 10 years ago. There are people who started decades before me. That's not what we stand for. There are other groups of people that out there that stand for that, but it's not us. More power to them, but they're not us. We're separate. You know, we're different. And I support them, but they're different. So, you know, it comes to a point where, and I called this in the 90s when the participation trophy was invented. I said, you know what, this is the beginning of the end of society. No one's going to have to work for anything. Everyone's going to feel special. And 20 some odd years later, guess what? I was right. You know?
Yeah.
And then the enabling nature of the internet, which was great for performers in the beginning, and then not so much, you know, when money and interest came in and bought everything out. And, you know, the internet was supposed to be the great equalizer. And
I think the internet and the social media is terrible.
Well, and it's because girls aren't trained to do it. You know, we talked about that on your show, too.
And people can be so mean because they're hiding behind their computer.
Yeah, you know, that was...
and they become so judgmental because they're hiding behind their computer.
I watched a video on YouTube, and a couple weeks ago I had this idea where I wanted to have... The idea for the segment was non-celebrities read mean tweets. But then I saw this video of porn stars reading their messages from fans. You know, crazy fucked up messages like, you me sex now. You know, stuff like that. But you know what? I'd like to do one better. I don't know if you have any in front of you, but I don't use my computer for my Twitter anymore, so I'd have to go through mine. Do you have any mean tweets?
From people?
Yeah.
From, well, I have mean things that are tweeted about me.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I know...
Not necessarily to me.
I know people have a lot of shit to talk about you, so let's have a little laugh about that and see how we respond. Do you have anything in mind off the top of your head?
Just
You want to start with douchebag Sean?
Well, Mike Quasar is the worst. Brad Armstrong was there for a while, but he finally gave up.
Isn't it interesting? Yeah, isn't it interesting that all those people are connected?
That I've even dreamed of.
Yeah.
But they hide it behind their block sites. So they don't say it to me, they just say it about me so other people can read it. And you can't hide it because that's their own opinion.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If they're blocked, no one else can read it. So it's an echo chamber. They're preaching to the choir.
The people that are a part of their little group reads it. I'm just not allowed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guess what?
So everybody else gets to read the shit.
I don't.
So they can talk as much shit as they want to without me getting to respond because I can't see it or read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get to hear about it from other people.
Yeah. Well, I don't even hear about it from other people when it comes to me. So you have that one up on me.
Yeah.
I think the difference being that everybody knows I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
I think everyone's finally learning. I just don't give a fuck.
And you don't give a right. That's a good way to be. You know, it doesn't.
I mean, all my messages, I try to be like positive and outgoing. Even if you throw something mean at me, I'm going to throw something positive back at you because it just needs to be more positive out there. There's so much negative and mean, bad energy that's in social media. It's just stupid.
But it's all coming from the same places. Alana.
It's wherever it's coming
Melissa.
from. It's just
but look at the connections.
It's terrible.
Alana, Melissa, Sean Tompkins, who we know is pretty much in the Alana Evans fan club.
Yeah, it's just all negative. It should
Amber.
be positive. It should be positive, positive, positive. I think, and mostly Amber's tweets, I always see she tweets positive things.
I know she tries to, but I'm just saying it seems like all of the negative info is coming from...
Well, there's this, like... This
and Mike Quasar. Mike Quasar is a Melissa.
They call,
you know.
There's this one group, and they seem to terrorize and pick on people, and not just me, other people, you know? They'll pick a person, and they all attack her at once. And it's just horrible. And they don't understand... I mean, my skin is thick as shit, you know? So nothing they can say to do to me will bother me because I know who I am. I like who I am, and I'm still going to be here tomorrow. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
but
that's why we're here, not there. People,
yeah,
Alana can't have people like us around. Yeah,
it's got to affect them, and it's got to be hard, and it makes me feel sorry for them. So I always try to look around and see who they're picking on for that day, and try to chime in to protect her.
Yeah,
or to help, you know, because.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and it's just they've got to feel awful. Like, why is the world attacking me because I just said one thing, or because I had one opinion?
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's just terrible. Just because someone's opinion doesn't match, you shouldn't be attacked.
No argument here.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sad. It's very mean. It's then social media makes it so acceptable and so easily to be mean. With no care, with no resource, with no, just to be mean for the kicks of it.
Yeah.
And before that, we were more of a family because we were nicer to each other because anything we said to each other had to be to somebody's face.
Yeah. Can I tell you something, though? I think because, and this is where my perspective differs a little bit from yours. I agree with what you're saying because I can see your perspective, but... Also having, because I'm sort of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and I've always kind of been that way on account of, I've been helping to legitimize this industry. So it's, there are certain, I can't throw myself into modeling because love it or hate it, it does marginalize you as a business person. So I have to do enough adult business to be in the industry, but not so much that it lowers my credibility with people in the mainstream. So I kind of walk this tightrope or whatever. And I think a lot of us are doing that. You and I talked about the headshots for the, for the IEAU website and things like that. But what I think the problem is that, well, for starters, there were fewer of you. It wasn't just that you had to say that stuff to each other's faces, but the fact that you probably didn't want to. People actually cared more about each other because everyone's job was secure. No one's job is secure anymore. And so the industry's reverted back to normal, to fight or flight response. The entire industry is in fight or flight right now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
it's sad.
It's not, there shouldn't be this much animosity. But to go back to my original point, the animosity comes from a group of people who are intent on seeing you fail, and they're all connected. Mike Quasar to Melissa, Melissa to Alana, and getting back full circle, because again, I tend to go on these tangents, and it takes me about 10 minutes to wrap it all the way up, as I started with Susan, and, Susan knew about my involvement in APAC, and despite that, didn't want me to have any appearance on her show in regards to Prop 60. In fact, I had to sort of con her into doing it by spouting out something on camera one day that wasn't true, and then volunteering for a spanking the following week. I had to pull a little stunt to get any kind of attention on this whatsoever. But they had Susie and Julia on like 3 times. Nothing against Susie and Julia. I think they're awesome. I think they did a great job. And you and I, Felicia, obviously do not see eye to eye on Prop 60. But it's done. It's over. And
but that doesn't
we don't have to agree on everything.
Move on.
Yeah. We don't have to agree on everything.
We don't always have to agree.
Yeah. So, but I don't feel like people on the other side of the political coin feel the same way. I feel like they have to be the only voice. And what bothers me is if